Oh no, this is old. Oh, this is the old clip. The Kevin Clark rookie year. My bad, y'all. Yeah. Hopefully we get to see some of this. Hopefully we get to see some of that action there, dog. But just like I was saying, Caitlin Clark is definitely back in the gym. There's a lot to expect going into this training camp. It's basically a whole new team again. Half of the team is new, I should say that. And we just got to wait and see now. Mo Billings and Aaliyah Boston.
Indiana Fever training camp is officially underway, and a single photo from the practice facility has generated significant attention online. The image, captured by Tony East, shows Caitlin Clark back on the court at the Fever's training complex on the first day of camp. The photo spread quickly across social media, with fans reacting strongly to seeing Clark suited up and working ahead of the 2026 season. With roughly half of the roster being new additions this year, training camp carries extra weight as the group begins building chemistry together.
All of them look like they was at an event yesterday and they spoke to the fans. Let's pull this up real quick. Let's listen.
I'm currently getting my master's, well, not master's, I'm getting my PhD in educational. Yeah, it's pretty hard being a student athlete at 30, but I guess I can do it. But it's been humbling. Outside of that, I've been building my foundation back at home, giving back to the kids. We recently started our 4th season of
Raven Johnson, Jessica Shepard, and the rest of the incoming rookies have also officially joined the team. Ahead of camp, Monica Billings and Aaliyah Boston appeared at a fan event and spoke openly about their lives away from basketball. Billings shared that she is currently working toward a PhD in educational leadership through Liberty University, completing the program entirely online. She described a recent research course as particularly grueling, but acknowledged that the discipline required to balance academics with professional athletics has kept her focused and connected.
AU boys basketball, so it's kind of big for our city and where I come from. So I've already kind of, head started that with the young kids in our neighborhood. So that's big for where I come from. And then outside of that, it's just trying to be a Fever girl, So just chilling.
Well, which university are you getting that PhD from?
Liberty University.
Liberty, hallelujah, in Lynchburg, Virginia. Yeah, do you ever have to go to campus or no?
I'm an online girlie.
Online girl.
Her expected graduation date is 2028. Billings also mentioned that she has been running youth basketball programming in her hometown, now entering its 4th season. Boston, for her part, kept things light at the event, gently ribbing Billings about her academic pursuits while making clear she would not be assisting with the coursework. Footage also resurfaced from Clark's press conference at the start of last season's training camp, in which she spoke at length about head coach Stephanie White.
Recently, I just did a research class, and it was the worst of my life, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. I was fighting for my life, but I think, in retrospect, it's good for me because the discipline that is kind of maintained with doing school and still being a pro, and what I do is kind of keeps me grounded, keeps me focused, keep me, keep me in tune with the world.
Do you help her study?
No.
She will.
I gave that up when I graduated.
The whole coaching staff will. The team is going to help me the whole
year. What do you mean by that?
You're going to help me pass school.
Clark described White as someone with an exceptionally deep understanding of the game, pointing to her broadcast work, calling NBA and college games as evidence of that knowledge. Clark emphasized that White has a clear ability to put players in positions where they can succeed, holds her roster accountable, and brings a selfless approach to leadership. Clark noted that White, a Purdue National Championship winner who grew up in Indiana, carries a personal connection to the franchise that goes beyond her coaching role. The sentiment Clark expressed was that the team wanted to win not just for themselves, but for White as well.
Ooh, when? I'll start May 18th again.
Hey.
I know, hey.
Our first game's May 9th.
Coach Steph, you're in
Let's be
this?
serious.
No.
Let's be serious.
She gonna help me, y'all.
We might have a game on that day, bro.
Yeah.
We can study first.
All right.
Yeah. When is your expected completion date for that?
2028.
Oh, okay.
Hey.
2028.
You're on? Damn.
Yeah. Aaliyah's up here mouthing you're on your own.
So that was Aaliyah Boston and Kelsey Mitchell.
The season ultimately did not unfold the way anyone hoped, with injuries derailing the Fever's campaign at multiple points. The contrast between the optimism Clark expressed heading into that camp and what followed became more apparent in hindsight. With camp now open and the first game of the season scheduled for May 9th, the organization is expected to release regular updates and practice footage as the roster begins preparations in earnest. The Phoenix Mercury deserve credit for one thing that most WNBA franchises have consistently failed to do. They lean into the Caitlin Clark effect rather than resisting it.
Kelsey Mitchell yesterday. Now, there is some footage starting to come out of a press conference that Caitlin Clark did last year, right before the start of the season. That's what we're going to pull up right now. Let's roll it.
I know it's been just a short time with you and Stephanie as your head coach. What do you appreciate the most about what you're learning from her right now?
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing that I've always admired about Steph, and I've known her for quite some time now, obviously not on the level that I do now, but like she just has a really, really good basketball mind. And
from the beginning, the Mercury's approach has been straightforward. They may not have Clark on their roster, but when she comes to town, they are going to turn that into a sellable event. The promotional material the team put out makes that philosophy visible. The ad features Clark scoring. It centers the matchup.
Small mind, and if you listen to her call NBA games or college games, like her knowledge of the game is far better than most people. Like she understands how the game is supposed to be played, situation basketball. She knows what she's doing. She knows how to put people in positions to be successful, 1 through 5 on the floor. She's going to put us in lineups that are successful, but also like she's going to hold you accountable. She's going to coach you. And that's something I'm really grateful for, but also like she's just been a good sounding board.
It treats the game as a spectacle worth attending. That stands out because the prevailing attitude across much of the league has been the opposite. Several franchises have quietly avoided amplifying Fever games in their own buildings, seemingly reluctant to acknowledge that the visitor is the bigger attraction. The calculation behind that reluctance is obvious, but it is also counterproductive.
A good sounding board for myself to like talk about certain things, whether we're watching NBA games or just talking about college basketball. Like it's fun to have that type of basketball mind around where you can really like just talk about certain things, and you can tell how selfless she is too. Like this isn't about her, even though she's given a lot to this franchise. She's from this state. She won a national championship at Purdue. Like coming here is far bigger than herself, but that's always what you kind of want from your leader, somebody that's going to be selfless. But at the same time, like we want to win for her too.
Selling tickets is selling tickets. The Mercury, operating under NBA-style ownership that prioritizes revenue and relevance above everything else, have no patience for that kind of organizational ego. If Clark versus the Mercury moves seats, they are going to plaster Clark's name everywhere.
Like they literally are showing. Wait, they're showing Caitlin Clark scoring. Oh my god. Oh my god.
The hottest team in the WNBA is back in action. And drills it. Copper with the triple. This is over. Watch it. Oh my goodness. She is back. To weigh in. And AT goes coast to coast to tie things up.
The Atlanta Dream's history here is worth revisiting. Over the past couple of seasons, the Dream rearranged multiple Indiana Fever games, officially citing scheduling conflicts. The framing was that those conflicts had nothing to do with demand.
To tie things up.
Come find out. That is like, you're looking at a team actually willing to market a game. The rest of the WNBA is like, no, we don't want to market a game because, Caitlin Clark is Caitlin Clark shouldn't get this marketing. What about me too? There's people watching for these players too. It's like, well, yeah. And they literally are like, you know what? We're going to go and show.
That explanation was difficult to accept at face value, given that the same organization recently rearranged an Aces game as well, and in that case, the stated reason shifted to the growth of women's basketball broadly. The inconsistency in reasoning speaks for itself. What makes the Mercury's approach more defensible is that the matchup itself has genuine history behind it.
We're going to go and show off Caitlin Clark here. Because this is what people want to see. We want to sell tickets for a game. We don't care how. Let's be real. The only game they're promoting is not till July, and it's got CC, the biggest show in town. Yeah. Because I'm going to be completely honest here. They, as a team, have not cared. As an organization, have not cared about this. This is an NBA organization. The only thing they care about is selling tickets and keeping their team as relevant as possible. That's what.
Clark's numbers against Phoenix in her rookie year were remarkable. She averaged something close to 12 assists per game against them, a figure that seems improbable until the actual game footage is revisited. There was one stretch in particular, a third-quarter run where the Fever erased a 1-0 point deficit and built a 1-5 point lead that illustrated exactly what Clark looks like when she takes command of a game.
They care about. Whereas a lot of these teams are going to be showing, like, I'm not going to say like fake hype, but there's a lot of these teams that are going to be going out there and like doing everything they can to not promote the Indiana Fever. They're going to be going out of their way to not promote a team. They're going to be going out of their way to be like, okay, we're, these other teams.
That swing, roughly a 28-3 run, was almost entirely generated by Clark. She scored, she assisted, she found Kelsey Mitchell for threes. She found Aaliyah Boston in the post on back-to-back possessions. She found Nalissa Smith for a three that put the Fever ahead for good. Nearly every point in that stretch either came from her directly or ran through her hands.
Okay, we're, these other teams matter more. So, we're actually going to promote the Aces more than we promote the Fever because age is actually the bigger draw. And the tickets will be free, basically, walking in. Whereas to see Caitlin Clark and the Fever play, the tickets are going to go through the roof. And this is thank for the CC highlight. I hope Fever fans are making fun of this. Smart and special. Remember, you have this an alternative we've seen generate more revenue. Remember the scheduling conflict. Yeah, let's not.
It was one of the more dominant individual performances within a single quarter that the league had seen in years. The Mercury ownership structure, with Matt Ishbia at the top, is genuinely oriented around putting a competitive product on the floor and keeping the franchise in the conversation. Ishbia would almost certainly have traded the entire roster for a chance at Clark in the draft.
Yeah, let's not forget. Sorry. The Atlanta Dream literally rearranged multiple Fever games over the last couple of years. This year, because they're rearranging an Aces game as well, they were like, okay, it's due to the growth of women's basketball. Whereas when they were only able to do it for Fever games, they said it was because of a scheduling conflict. They said it was all because of a scheduling conflict. No.
The Mercury had the second best odds heading into that lottery, having won only 9 games the prior season. Had Phoenix won, the situation around Clark would have looked considerably different. The Mercury front office actually scouts.
It was all because of a scheduling conflict. Nothing to do with, the fact that the more people just wanted to go see the Fever games, which is what it was. It was like, no, it is a scheduling conflict, which is a kind of crazy way to put it, but that is the way the WNBA has worked. You've got scheduling conflicts everywhere. And I'm going to be real here. I would honestly say that I would much rather a team.
They have shown the ability to build around a centerpiece player through smart marginal additions, the Alyssa Thomas trade, the Setu Sabley acquisition, players like Valerie Ayayi and Monica Okoye-McCain brought in on favorable terms. That kind of organizational competence, combined with Clark's ability to elevate teammates, would have been a potent combination from day one. A title in the first or second year would not have been an unreasonable expectation.
Be real here. I would honestly say that I would much rather a team going out of their way to promote what is a huge game. And Caitlin Clark versus the Mercury. Caitlin Clark has had really good games versus the Mercury. Like in her rookie season, Caitlin Clark I'm pretty sure Caitlin Clark averaged 12 assists a game against the Mercury. Like it was something crazy. Caitlin Clark was one rebound off a triple-double in a game where she just took over. She just took over at halftime. Like if you guys don't remember that game. So the Indiana Fever.
None of that happened. Clark went to Indiana. But the Mercury's willingness to use that near miss as motivation to treat every Clark visit as a marquee event rather than an inconvenience reflects a front office that understands where the league's commercial momentum currently sits and intends to extract every possible benefit from it.